rescinded the umbrella of the Department of Agriculture. So basically, the umbrella includes SNAP EBT, something called Farm to School breakfast and lunch program, WIC, which is like women and children, small children. They get cereal, they get grain cereal, and they get milk. He rescinded something called FMNP, which are those farmers' checks that they give to senior citizens that are low income. And he's cutting Meals on Wheels, and he's cutting food pantries as well as church pantries all across the nation. This is something I know for a fact because I do business with them. You can tell your followers how this is going to impact this entire country, because what a lot of people don't understand is, I'm just going to use WIC as an example. Most people think that WIC, which is women, children, and infants, right, was implemented because they want women to get milk. But that is not the case. WIC was originally put into place so that farmers could get subsidies for growing grain. That's why when you are on WIC, you can get all that rice cereal, cornmeal cereal, oatmeal cereal, and things like that. And it was also put into place so that the farmers can get paid for their dairy. That's the reason why when mommies are on WIC, they get so much milk. I mean, jugs and jugs and tons of milk that they don't even know what to do with the milk. So they end up making cheese, they make yogurt. Sometimes they just give it away because they don't know what to do with all that dairy and all that cereal. The fact that they're helping single mothers and mothers who are in need is just like gravy. They're doing it so that the farmers can get paid. And farmers get paid by something called farm subsidies, okay? That is a welfare program, all right? And it's funny because MAGA hates socialism, but they don't mind getting subsidies, which is welfare, as long as it benefits them. Now, because he cut all of these programs, not only are senior citizens going to suffer, Farm to School is going to suffer because all the funds are frozen. Farmers are not going to be able to grow enough produce to give to those schools, to give to EBT, to give to WIC, because there's no funding for them anymore. And something that a lot of people don't know is that when you have a farm, you have to plan one season ahead. So these people are not. Elizabeth Arden retinol capsules. Twist, squeeze,
damn TV.
apply.
YouTube.
Real dairy.
When I'm on TV, I have to go through like 30 seconds of commercials before I get to skip. But damn, y'all, did y'all understand what they were saying? Oh my God. We're gonna be starving. Y'all better buy some seeds. I'm going to buy me some seeds. I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of seeds because I know we're gonna have a shortage on seeds and we don't have to grow no food. How we gonna make seeds? Seeds come from food. I'm gonna stockpile on some seeds myself. I'm getting somebody to grow me some stuff.
They're not getting their subsidy check, which is welfare. So they are in arrears. They don't have the money. They've already spent thousands upon thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars buying lumber, buying farm animals, buying everything that they're going to need, and getting contractors to come over to their property, but they cannot have access to their funds, so their funds are frozen. Now, what this is going to end up doing, of course, is it's going to be like a humongous crash, because one system is completely dependent on the other. And it's the exact same thing with the big name commercial food companies like Sodexo. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a company called Sodexo. I think they might have been bought out by Cisco. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. But Sodexo also requires the farmers to work with them. They actually hire farmers to give them food. And this is what people rely on, like in a hospital system. The food comes from these major companies. And when the farmers are not getting their checks and they can't do what they need
I guess
to
you
do,
ain't getting fed in the
these
hospital.
other corporations are not going to be able to feed people. So it's going to have a horrendous snowball effect on our society. We are not going to be able to recover from this. So now, here is what the truck drivers are now saying. I don't know anything about truck driving, so I'm just going to give you the simplistic of it. So when a truck driver is called by dispatch to go pick up a load, it's called a load, right? That load has to be weighed, and I think it goes by the ton. I have been told in my private meetings that the loads are getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And what that means in layman's terms is that there's just not a lot of food that's being distributed throughout food pantries, schools, neighborhoods, hospital systems, etc. So even the truck drivers are saying that something is definitely wrong because they're not getting a lot of loads. When I was in the meeting, they're also complaining about the cost of how the companies that they work for are putting more stress on them. So they're going to have to drive for longer periods of time with less breaks. And that's putting a strain on them, and it's putting a strain on the company. So basically, the gist of all of this is this, okay? Our system is based upon socialism. Whether these MAGA Republicans want to admit it or not, it's based upon socialism and it's based upon welfare, and we all participate in it. The fact that they voted for this man to cut and to rescind all of these socialist programs, they think that they're hurting us. Their racism makes them believe that it's only Black people and people of color that are going to get hurt by his policies. But the truth is, Black people have never benefited from any of these things, including DEI. I can tell you as a farmer that I've never gotten one grant. Every single affirmative action initiative that has ever been implemented in my world has gone to a white female farmer or a white veteran farmer.
With Galvani Ricardo,
See, they don't get the Black farmers nothing.
You got it
Nothing.
You got
They
it
had
dessert.
sued the USDA, and they Biden had got them some money, and then they put the money on. Then the white farmers sued because the white farmers like, well, that's discrimination. How you gonna be discriminated against when y'all was getting all the money in the first place? So they never got the money. White people, they a trick.
Farmer. We have never benefited from DEI. We've never benefited from any of these programs. And because Black people as a whole have never benefited from anything, we've had to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and make do with very little. Like myself, I have to make do with what little I do have. So I talked it over with my family the other night, and I think we're going to be able to weather the storm because we've been weathering the storm. No one has been helping us. No one has been giving us anything. The people that are not going to make it are white people. because they're the ones that have been getting the handouts and all the benefits all along. So they're going to suffer from this the most. I think it's kind of funny when you think about it, because they cut off their nose to spite their face. But here's what I'm going to tell you so that you can tell your viewers on YouTube. What is happening now is not a joke. It's not something to giggle and pass off as being funny, or she's just, she's trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. This is very serious. Start stocking up now as quickly as you possibly can. If you have an extra $1 or $2, every time that you go food shopping, grab a couple of cans of food and start putting it away. Get your friends together and start a garden in your backyard. One person can grow just tomatoes, the other can grow just cucumbers, and so on and so forth. And then when your crops have come to fruition, then you can go food shopping in each other's backyard. Get a plan of action together so that one person is skilled with medical training, one person is skilled with holistic training, another person knows how to hunt, another one can fish. Start putting together whatever it is that you can put together so that you can build a community with people that you trust. Because in my humble opinion, and this is just an opinion, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, when things don't crash by the ending of this year towards Christmas, it is going to be an absolute miracle from God. And that's the God's honest truth. Anyway, thanks for listening to my little story. I hope your viewers are going to take this seriously. Like I said, I don't have statistics because I go to the meetings, I hear what's going on behind the scenes. I know about the cuts to the food pantry. I know about the cuts to Meals on Wheels. People are getting laid off from all of these programs. So I can't prove it, for people that's going to want to come for me. I can't prove it, but I can only tell you what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. So I hope that you will take heed and just get your homes prepared. So good luck.
Good luck. That's what she said. Good luck. Child, this is scary. I'm gonna give me some seeds. Look. This is scary. This is scary. Are we gonna have food next year? I don't know. If they can't put these crops in, we might not.